On this spooky Halloween episode of Fan Film Friday, I'll be dissecting my own film, Michael. This is one that my friends and I made back in 2017, so let's take a look. The film starts off with opening credits where a guy is getting pulled over by a sheriff's deputy, when all of a sudden, Michael shows up and grabs the deputy, allowing the guy to escape. We then see someone stalking through a house and grabbing a knife, but it turns out to be Steve, the main character of the story. He's carving a pumpkin with his friends when Michael suddenly appears, but Steve seems to be imagining it. One of his friends, Dan, jokes with him about seeing his dead brother again, who we then learn is Michael. And as he takes the trash out, Michael actually does appear and follows him. After that, his friends make a plan to go to the woods for the night to help Steve get his mind off his brother. And of course, they do a few shots on the way. Once they get there, Steve and Dan find an abandoned shack in the middle of the woods, because that's always a good thing. Meanwhile, Steve's girlfriend Melissa and his other friend Greenberg are waiting to hear back from them. Greenberg gives a little backstory as to who Michael Myers is. And when they take too long to get back, Melissa decides to go looking for them on her own, leaving Greenberg by himself. Of course, this is where the Shape arrives and kills Greenberg. Back at the shack, Dan is attacked by Michael and ends up fighting him and Steve. Michael gets the best of Dan and Chris tries to escape when suddenly, the guy from the beginning shows up and tackles Michael through a wall, which honestly was the most fun scene to film. The guy ends up being their other friend Matt, who was supposed to meet them there all along. As they go to leave, Michael grabs Matt and yanks him back to the shack where he kills him. Steve finds Melissa in the woods and tells her what happened, saying that they need to get out of there right away, just as Michael catches up to them and stabs Steve. Melissa runs in and finds their car, and she tries to drive away, but apparently is killed as well. Following that, Steve is somehow still alive and finds Melissa dead, vowing to now go after Michael to stop him once and for all. After wandering around in the woods for a bit, the two come face to face and fight, with Steve ultimately getting stabbed in the chest. Then, Michael just walks away into the night. After the credits, we get a scene of a camper running from Michael, but he falls down, revealing that he was actually being chased by Jason. All of a sudden, Michael shows up and kills the camper, putting the two killers on a collision course. The end. Well, I'm not very good at critiquing my own movie, but I hope it was pretty good. I thought having Steve as the brother of Michael would take the story in a whole new direction. And no, Steve isn't a real person or canon to the theatrical films at all. But I did leave the Laurie Strode storyline canon, as it happened way before the movie took place. And the idea was to have the group go to Crystal Lake and eventually have Michael fight Jason in a sequel. This was pretty much an idea I came up with in high school, back when the script was titled Halloween 13. I just took elements of the old script and rewrote it as Michael. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and please take a look at the full film. The link is in the description box below. Well, that does it for this episode of Fan Film Friday. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy Halloween.
A countrywide manhunt has begun for Michael Myers, an escaped patient from Smith's Grove who was discovered missing earlier this evening. Myers is dangerous, and any sightings need to be reported directly to police. Sheriff's office has put a curfew into effect immediately, and it may cut the night short for some trick-or-treaters. We will keep you posted on any updates, and we advise that you stay in your homes until further notice.